Zeus. It was Beaver Val. Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Supposed to be the people's house, I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers, I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sleeping on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bag. I'm the voice of the hood trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hands, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk this room, winking MLK. Now it's photo ops, power plays all day. I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Power is
in the air.
We knocking on your door. We wanna hear your soul. Yeah.
Yes.
Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People on them playing, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark.
So true. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
On my line, got the Constitution jumping. Yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside, and the gates is locked. This power never.
Let's go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talks loud, time to clap.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness. It's May 13th. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
It's the people's house. We knocking on your door. It's the people's house. We wanna hear your soul.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna do what we did. Well, you never know, right? But we're not gonna try to do another 3-hour operation over here, because sometimes you gotta do it, but you know, other times you just gotta get off of this app. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Brother Val. Nice to see ya. Guess who it is? MAGA. It's me, and guess what? You still will be judged. Let's go.
Deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week.
You hate it when I show up and I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my graph. You should look at it. Oh my God.
I play the game so raw.
I won't finish last.
Sitting in my living room
Screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous. You know what that comes with, right, everyone? You get a lot of arrows. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin. Am I right, Evan? Benjamin Franklin is our best people. If they ain't your ex, you shouldn't text them back. I say it with my chest because I mean it. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Oh, wait a second. Where'd he go? You know, they got technical difficulties. Here it goes. What happened?
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into
Liars.
live in a couple of days.
Yes.
Shit was
Keep it
radical.
clean.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh.
like deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
Oh my God. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Thunderdome. We are once again back in the Thunderdome to do the work that needs to be done in order to save this great, great country of ours from guess who? You know, the evil clutches of guess who? Donald J. Trump. But before we get into that, let's take care of some housekeeping items, all right? For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? It was quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. High bar. Second H is because, well, I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, you know me. I'll be the first to apologize because I don't think apologizing is a sign of weakness. I actually think it's a sign of strength. That's true. And then the last and the most important H, ladies and gentlemen, and they hate it when I say it, but I'll say it anyway because I got to say it. I am and will always remain, you guessed it, the most handsome. Many of you know exactly why we are gathered here today. We have to do the endless work that we must do in order to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of MAGA demons. All right. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go ahead and do a quick temperature check. Are there any Trump supporters out there right now? Please identify yourself. I really don't need for you to come up right now because what I did yesterday, I was in, Misty's live. Misty is, she's a Zeus fanatic. I mean, she loves Zeus, but she's on the wrong side of the aisle. And I was in there slaying MAGA demon after MAGA demon last night. Some of you saw it. I was slaying these MAGA demons. They were crashing out. And at one point, one of the mods muted me in there and she got on them like white on rice. I never seen a person do that. But this is what happens when you get a dose of this truth. You get addicted to it. So yeah, W Zeus. So are there any Trumps? It was 9v1, right? I was slaying them all. You should have seen it. These people, and they just lied about everything. I debunked them. There was 3 areas I think I covered because I was connecting so many dots. We shut down the narrative about what they were saying happened on January 6th. Everyone knows Donald Trump set his own supporters up for what happened that dark day in American history. And we also know that all the witnesses for January 6th, they were Republicans. There were no Democrats that were the witness. It was all Republicans, and they were crashing out. W Zeus. We debunked them on the whole gift from Qatar, right? You know, this $400 million jet. They were all trying to say it was a good thing, but then they found out it's a used airplane 13 years old, and that we would be wasting money and placing the president's life in danger. And they said, wow, that's a bad idea, W Zeus. I mean, they literally had nothing to stand on. And then the worst of them all was the biggest, and it's actually the most atrocious offense they committed. They actually tried to say President Biden made Vice President Kamala Harris, and they were not pronouncing her name correctly because that's what they do. It's just insult. President Joe Biden made Kamala Harris the border czar, and I said, please don't say that because everyone knows that's not true. Joe Biden never ever uttered the words border czar. And then they tried this trick, Zeus. And I got the video. This is what they did to me. Zeus, I got the video. Don't make me hit play, Zeus. Don't make me hit play. And I said, oh, you don't think I can call your bluff? Hit play on that video. And Zeus, I don't want to hit play and embarrass you, Zeus. No. Please hit play on that video, ma'am. You brought it into okay, I'm going to hit play. She hits play on the video. I watched the video, and some of you were in there. Not one time did Joe Biden say Vice President Kamala Harris was the border czar. So then you know what they do? Let me go get another video. I said, sure, I got time tonight because, the Warriors were getting, Ant-Man was doing a number to the Warriors. So I was really on that, I was really on that type of time after what Ant-Man did to the Warriors. I said, you know what? Hit play again. She hit play again, and guess what? Joe Biden never, ever called Vice President Kamala Harris the border czar. So I've slayed these MAGA demons last night, and so I don't really feel like I need to do it today, but if I got to, I will. Okay, so I'll give you Trump supporters. That was an example of just how dangerous I am on this app, especially with the truth. If you do not want Big Zeus to ruin your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and everything in between MAGA, like I did yesterday to those MAGA demons, do us all a huge favor. And leave this live because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. I promise you it will. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. The doors to the Thunderdome have officially been closed. And you know what? I got to say, hold on. Where is it at? You're given ample opportunity to get out of here, but now it's on. To all the people out there, especially MAGA, I want you to know one thing. You will be judged today, all right? And so let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. You will be judged. Well, first of all, we all know yesterday was a pretty eventful show last night. I got to actually shout it out. Shout out to Moo. I know what he brought up in the kingdom yesterday. It was difficult for us to process, but I had to do some deep thinking about it. And I said, you know what, Zeus, if you can hear things that MAGA has to say, you got to be able to hear a lot of things, especially for things that are going on in your party. So I'll just say thank you to Moo for bringing it up. And I also want to say thank you to all of you who actually provided the feedback to the audience as well, because it shows one thing. It shows to me that the Democrat Party, we don't necessarily have to agree on everything, and everybody is still free to express how they truly feel. And to be quite honest, it was very respectful compared to some of the things that I've seen happening on the right. And then I said, you know what? And what really, really ticked me off, and this is why I went over there to the right, I said, these Trump supporters, you all have ruined this country so much that we have to actually have this kind of discourse on TikTok, even amongst ourselves, because the MAGA demon in this country is doing a number. To be quite honest, we wouldn't even have to argue about this amongst ourselves if MAGA would simply stop supporting the most evil and corrupt administration known to mankind. And so with that being said, I got to give it back to you Trump supporters and say this. I was so angry last night, or thinking about what happened. I said, we would not be in a situation like we're in right now in the United States of America if these Trump supporters would simply do better. And you will not do better because you are so hell-bent on worshiping Donald Trump and putting your face and your nose into his dirty, disgusting, filthy diaper. All right. And so with that being said, I want to kick this show off the way it should be kicked off. I want to warm up this lake of fire. Oh, yeah, because somebody has to go to hell. I didn't get to do it as much as I wanted to yesterday, but I got to do it today. Somebody has to go to hell this morning. And I'm going to volunteer all of you Trump supporters, to all the people who are still supporting Donald Trump in light of all this corruption, this waste, fraud, and abuse that he's committing. The fact that he's bringing Elon Musk into the game and ruining our country. Do me a huge, huge favor. Go straight to hell. I don't care.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And now they got this stuff coming out about Biden and how fit he was during 2022. I want all you Trump supporters to understand something about Joe Biden and his so-called cognitive decline. I got to tell you all a secret. I got to be honest with the American people. I wouldn't have cared if President Biden was in a wheelchair, all right? And he was barely clinging to life. I still would have voted for him over Donald Trump. Case closed. I am amazed that Joe Biden is still able to walk around and talk and smile with his family. And I'm sitting here going, I would rather have that man, because when he got on national television after that debate and he said, I still know how to tell the truth, I said, you got my vote. Quit trying to ruin Joe Biden's life and his legacy by trying to make him seem like he's an old man. Duh, he's an old man, but he was at least way more honest with the American people than what we have going on with your dear leader who's over there. Where is he at? Probably committing more crimes in the Middle East, somewhere in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and just making up stories. You know, I was thinking about something, ladies and gentlemen, and I got to get this on the record. Every story Donald Trump tells always begins with, we've been getting ripped off. Only I can fix it. You know, whenever he starts off saying stuff like that, and this is what I was telling you all the other day, I know at a certain point when you start telling a story like that, eventually he's going to have to show us he has Biden derangement syndrome. But yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, he did something very, very incredible. He was at his little press conference at the White House, and he started talking about himself taking, the press conference was about lowering the cost for pharmaceutical medications. He signed an executive order, which I believe he's just trying to take credit for the things Biden passed in the Inflation Reduction Act that are set to the provisions that are actually about to actually go into effect. He saw that coming and said, well, why don't I just sign an executive order to make it look like what Biden did is actually the things that I did. He didn't do it because he cared. He's just doing this to try to score points with his base. All right. But in the process, he makes up this story about somebody that's overweight taking medication to lose weight. And I want to get this on the record, ladies and gentlemen, because if this isn't evidence of cognitive decline, I just don't know what is.
And you're suing all our companies, Apple, Google, Meta. They're suing all of our companies. They end up, they have judges that are European Union centric, and they get rewarded 15 billion, 17 billion, 20 billion, and they use that to run their operation. Not going to happen any longer, that I can tell you.
It's not going to happen any longer.
So what's been happening is we've been subsidizing other countries.
So in other words, here we go. You know the lie. You know the story's coming. We've been getting ripped off. It's Trump 101, and only his supporters believe these stories. I know there's no sane individual that believes stories like this.
Throughout the world, not just in Europe, throughout the world. European Union was the most difficult from what I understand. I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug.
What? The fat shot drug? Does anybody know what that is? What is... When he said this, I'm sitting there looking at RFK. RFK is staring at him like, you are such a scholar. I mean, the way RFK is looking at this, I'm going, y'all really sit there and let this man say stuff like this on national television? What on earth is in that diaper?
And he called me up and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said,
what?
I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on? He said, so I checked. And it's the same box, made in the same plant, by the same company. It's the identical pill that I buy in New York. And here I'm paying $88 in London. In New York, I'm paying $1,300. Now, this is a great businessman, but he's not familiar with this crazy situation that we have. But he was stunned. But it was just one of those stories. And I brought it up with the drug companies, represented by somebody who's very, very...
So, first of all, you got to decode what Donald Trump is saying. He looked in the mirror, because he went and bought this, whatever it is, this fat drug. He went and bought it himself. And he said, it's not working. And so now that it's not working, he has to try to make it seem like it's the drug and not him. And of course, what better way to do it than to blame the pharmaceutical companies and the tariffs that he's actually responsible for putting in place. He seems he doesn't understand that, yeah, Donald Trump, when you put tariffs on things like that, you are the one who actually pays the cost, all right? Not the business, not the company. And so what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is because Donald Trump just cooked himself. He admitted that he's clearly overweight and that the fat drug won't even help him and that he can't even understand how his tariffs are actually making him pay more for his pharmaceuticals. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is listen, hey, Trump, I don't know what else to say to you, but God's talking to you, all right? And in the meantime and in between time, do us all a huge favor and enjoy the Lake of Fire.
Silence, you MAGA Damon.
W. Zeus. But then I want to also get on the record, after he gives this ridiculous speech, we got to talk about this aircraft, this $400 million jet that Donald Trump is hell-bent on accepting from Qatar. All right, all of us know. Let's just ask the audience. Can I ask the audience, do you believe MAGA, all right, Trump supporters, would be happy and supportive of Barack Hussein Obama or President Joe Biden accepting a $400 million plus gift from Qatar? Does anyone think the Trump supporters would go, oh, that's a great idea? I want to make sure. You see that, Tara? You said no, never. Someone wrote F, no. And you kept it clean for moms. Thank you. All right. So once again, we've caught Donald Trump and his supporters showing the world that they have no problem being criminals. They have no problems with bribery. They have no problems with fraud, so long as it's being done and committed by Donald Trump or anyone Donald Trump has blessed in the cult. All right. And so what we're going to do is listen to how the sitting president of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, and believe it or not, the country that he accepted this gift from, I saw this circulating on the World Wide Web. This is what he was saying about them in 2017 during his first term.
The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism.
Oh.
At a very high level.
Oh.
And in the wake of that conference, nations came together and spoke to me about confronting Qatar over its behavior. So we had a decision to make. Do we take the easy road or do we finally take a hard but necessary action?
Right.
We have to stop the funding of terrorism. I decided, along with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, our great generals and military people, the time had come to call on Qatar to end its funding. They have to end that funding.
All right, so that's him drawing a very firm line and saying absolutely not. We cannot deal with this country being a funder of the T word, right? And here we are several years later, ladies and gentlemen. The same country that he was saying is a funder of T is now funding a different T, Trump. All right, let's listen to this.
Doesn't make sense. But they would go up substantially higher. You know, at 145, you really decouple it because nobody's going to buy.
Hold on.
But they can go, they got very high because of additional tariffs I applied during the course because of fentanyl and other things. But they go substantially higher.
And then on Qatar, Mr. President.
Here goes.
I think you will have a deal, however.
You're confident that there will be a deal. On Qatar, has Qatar asked for anything in exchange for that $400 million luxury jumbo jet? And how can the American people be so sure that they will not in the future?
So the reporter asked, has Qatar asked for anything in exchange for that $400 million jet that's decorated in gold and wood like you wouldn't believe, and it's a palace in the air? Have they asked you, Donald Trump? Because see, I wish I was in that room. Have they asked you for anything in exchange for such a gift? Now, the obvious answer is they did. They did. That's the obvious answer. But just listen to the lies.
What happens with the plane is that, we're very disappointed that it's taking Boeing so long to build a new Air Force One. We have an Air Force One that's 40 years old. And if you take a look at that compared to the new plane of the equivalent, stature at the time, it's not even the same ballgame. You look at some of the Arab countries and the planes they have parked alongside of the United States of America plane. It's like from a different planet. And it's close to 40 years old, might be more than 40 years old now. And
stop right there.
The plane's
33, 34 years old. That's a lie. But it's the gaslighting he does, because I know every single Trump supporter on this app they heard this and they're going to go around here and say, oh, it's a 40-plus-year-old aircraft. No, it's not. Go look it up. Do your own research. W. Zeus. Don't. If you're going to round, you have to round down. You don't round low numbers up to the highest. Come on, this is lies right in.
Signed an order to get it built. I took it over from the Obama administration. They had originally agreed. I got the price down much lower. And then when the election didn't exactly work out the way that it should have, a lot of work was not done on the plane because a lot of people didn't know. They made change orders that were so stupid, so ridiculous.
Here he goes.
And it ended up being a total mess, a real mess. And when I came back, I said, by the way, what's going on with the Boeings that are coming in? Well, sir, they're way behind. And they are. They're way behind. They were way behind. Another mess that I inherited from Biden. And it's going to be a while before we get them. And I think Qatar, who we've helped them a lot over the years in terms of security and safety. I think they, and very, very nicely, and I have a lot of respect for the leadership and for the leader, Qatar.
Oh, really?
And I think they knew about it because they buy Boeings. They buy a lot of Boeings. And they knew about it. And they said, we would like to do something. And if we can get a 747 as a contribution to our Defense Department to use during a couple of years while they're building the other ones, I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane.
Okay. He could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free plane. Or what's the other option? Because everyone, let me ask the audience real clear, because I got to make sure I ask, does anyone believe a country would give a free plane to the United States because they love you? Does anyone believe that? Does anyone believe that a country just for Qatar so loved the United States of America, they decided what better thing to do than to give the United States a free? Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Oh, Asler, you're being a contrarian, and I know you don't believe that. So once again, the chat wins. W chat. He's selling America out. Someone wrote, what happened to America first? This is the worst example of America first if I've ever seen it. All right. I'm trying to figure it out. To the Trump supporters, how does it feel to know that while he's forcing you all to have no dolls, 2 dolls at Christmas, right? He's forcing you to get laid off at these jobs you've had for years. You got to hit the unemployment line because Doge found waste, fraud, and abuse. Grocery prices are through the roof. All right. You're struggling, living paycheck to paycheck and wondering whether or not you'll even be getting your next paycheck. Maybe if you're on Social Security or something. How does it feel to know that while you're fighting for your life, your existence on the face of the earth, he's getting gifted a $400 million Palace jet flying around the world? How does that make you feel, Mag? I mean, I want y'all to really sit there and think about it, and don't use Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris in your answer.
Free things that we'll take one too, and it helps us out because again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it. So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But I thought it was a great gesture. And I think it was a gesture because of the fact that we have helped and continue to, we will continue to, all of those countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and others, we keep them safe. If it wasn't for us, they probably wouldn't exist right now. And I think this was just a gesture of good faith. And I don't get it. Someday it'll be like Ronald Reagan. They decommission them. You know, they get to a certain age, they decommission them. It'll go to my library.
All right. I got to ask the chat another question. So his claim now is it's going to go to his library. He won't touch it once it's once he leaves office, it's going to go to his life. Does anybody think Donald Trump will watch his palace in the sky just sit at a library does anyone think that, or do you think he's going to be tempted by the devil and be led by his flesh? Does anyone? Okay, no. Everyone. Okay, even Asler agrees that no man on the face of the earth would sit there and watch a palace in the sky just sit there and collect dust and keep flying around in that little buggy, that little hoopty he's flying around in. I'm not gonna get into the palace. I'm gonna ride around in this hoopty that says Trump on it. Or yeah, right. So once again, we're catching him lying in record time, and you can't even say, well, it's his age, right? Because you wouldn't invite in that excuse. This man, according to MAGA, is Rambo on steroids, at 78 years old. So he's fully present spewing these lies. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I just saw it flash across the news. They just did a $1.4 billion security package to the UAE. So he's selling America out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have no other choice but to once again warm up this lake of fire. Congratulations, MAGA. May you rest, honestly, in purgatory forever with your dear leader. Do us a huge favor and go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Damon.
Now, the last bit of information that I'll get out here, and I know I'm looking at the clock because I got to talk to the people, wonderful people out there, and I love bringing panelists up. There's some updates about Donald Trump's proposed budget, and normally I don't weigh into this because I leave this for the guests that come up here. I like it when people come up here and they bring ideas that I don't necessarily cover, but I want MAGA to understand this. While Donald Trump is flying around in his private jets, getting these contracts to build golf courses all over the world, living like I'm talking about like a king amongst kings, and taking all of your hard-earned money to do it, there's some serious stuff coming down the pipe, all right? And let's just go ahead and get this on the record, because this is actually going to affect each and every single one of you in one way or another.
New details about the White House's 2026 budget proposal. President Trump's wish list is topped by $163 billion in spending cuts to education, foreign aid, and environmental protection. It also includes a massive 13% boost in defense spending. Let's bring in White House correspondent Karen Travers for more on that.
So we're cutting education, we're cutting other social safety net programs, but we're boosting spending in the defense industry, and I wonder why.
Congress holds the purse strings here, but the White House's proposal can help set the agenda. What stands out to you most from this budget?
This budget should not be surprising as a proposal from the Trump administration, because this is exactly what President Trump campaigned on, to come in and cut spending and cut it on the domestic side, Diane. You mentioned some of those details there. $163 billion that would be cut from agencies like the Department of Education, which of course the president has moved to completely dismantle. The Department of Health and Human Services would also see significant cuts. The CDC under this budget would see its budget cut by more than half.
Okay, let's just stop there. So you're cutting funding for research that helps find cures for cancer. You're cutting funding to the CDC. It's almost as if he's welcoming another health crisis on us Americans. Once again, because we've been through this before with the C-19, right, MAGA? So, MAGA, how does it feel, MAGA, to know that, and I didn't even get through all the other programs he wants to cut, but Medicaid and Social Security are in there too. How does it feel knowing he wants to cut programs like that? Also, he wants to, as far as I'm concerned, dumb us down. He's cutting funding to the Department of Education and make us sicker, while he gets to fly around in private jets made out of just gold amongst gold, silver, platinum, all these things, while we suffer. Ladies and gentlemen, they know they're suffering, and they know this makes absolutely no sense. But you know what? They don't mind, because as long as they get to be, guess where? In hell with their dear leader. So let's go ahead and send them there one more time. Hey, MAGA, do us all a huge favor. Why don't you just go on that Trump train, all right, straight to hell?
Silence.
Yeah, all right, ladies and gentlemen. W to the chat. We've endured. Now let's go to the box and hear from those of you who are brave enough. But I gotta say something, ladies and gentlemen. It has been brought to my attention. One of the Russian bears. I hear it's their birthday today. All right, it's one of the Russian bears' birthday today, and so they know who they are. If they are willing to come into the box and turn that camera on, I will do it. How many of you all would like to see the Russian bears turn their camera on and so we can sing happy birthday to them? I don't normally do that, but I think we've endured so much. It's just the right thing to do. If they turn that camera on, I will do it. I'm a man of my word. No, all right, I know. I'm going to hell for that. I'm so sorry. But listen, only if she knows exactly who she is, only if she turns it on, I'll do it. Oh, Nutty even said he'll give a galaxy. And again, we are coming out of our comfort zone to make such an accommodation because time is up. I mean, I had to think about it. I said, all these people, I've never seen their faces, but they have so much to say about me and you. You'll take her galaxy, Ange? Okay. Ange, if you don't mind, maybe you could come up. I know we didn't catch you last week, but I think maybe, Ange, could you just make some time today? And maybe I can bring you up and we can have you and her together. How about that? Oh, look at me. They're getting triggered in the chat. That means they're in here on their backup account. Fair enough. We'll see how things go. All right. Do we have any Trump supporters out there that are willing to come up here and speak to the American people as to why you are still supporting corruption, waste, fraud, and abuse, as well as fraud? All right. I would really like to see you up here. All right. Any Trump supporters, please identify yourselves. All right. Going once. Going twice. All right, who do we have here? Cooper Flag. Good morning. I feel like I've seen this account before. Cooper Flag, are you there? Going once. Cooper Flag going once. Going twice. Sold. All right. Okay, all right, we'll move it along then. All right, Cooper Flag, you gotta do better. All right, you gotta do better. Yes.
Hey, good morning, man. How you doing?
You're still around.
You know me. I will be for the next 4 years.
Okay, well, I don't know about that, but what do you got for us? I'm watching what's going on. Do you have a problem with Trump accepting a $400 million gift from?
No, at all, man. I mean, in lot of lies. Tell them I'm happy for him. You're supposed to be happy too because he's your president, right?
No. I don't support that. Right? I want people to be
so you want him to be in a 40 years old plane, an old plane?
That is it safe? Do you think the plane from another country is actually safe? The Secret Service says that this plane is a nightmare in terms of security. Why would he do that?
That's why we're in America. They can undock this plane, check everything on the plane. This is a beautiful palace for our president. So I'm 100% agree to gonna take this plane, man.
Okay,
so
fair enough. All right.
Be happy for him too.
Well, listen. Okay, so you failed that one. What else do you got? Did you see him bend the knee to China? Now all the jobs that we're supposed to come back to the United States because you've been looking for a job. How does it feel to know that that's not going to happen because he just bent the knee and he reduced the tariffs by 115%? Now you don't have a future. How does it feel knowing that he played you like a fiddle, Asler?
Let me tell you this. I don't know how you do this, but anything Donald Trump gonna do for you guys, you always gonna spit on his face.
No.
We don't really care about
No, not true. If he does something good, I'll give him credit. He just turns out he's not doing anything good.
You don't because you don't expect me to be in the last 4 years because you think I'm gonna be deported. So that's
you will be. Hey, Asler.
It's okay. You Democrat. So
Asler.
I get that part.
If I didn't think you would be deported, I wouldn't say it. But I have real legitimate concerns that you will get deported.
It's not gonna happen.
I didn't have these concerns. Listen,
show, man.
I didn't have these concerns when President Biden was in office, believe it or not, because I knew for a fact President Biden wouldn't just randomly go around and send ICE into people's houses, because that would create an uproar. It would create a disturbance, and we would be on him like white on rice. But I legitimately am concerned that you will be deported, and I am entitled to have that concern, because look at what we see going on in this country.
Well, what I see is different than what you saw, man. Like
no.
Great.
You know what bothers me, Asler? You can sit here and see your brothers and sisters suffering.
It's not true.
And say, and you do like this, as if it could not happen to you. It really shows me how wicked your heart is.
That's not true, man. Can I say something, man? Let me talk. Hey, I'm living in Houston, Texas. That's why I always talk about Houston, Texas, right? So just go check the gas price. It's $2.40, okay? The interest going down for the houses. You know, I'm divorced, so I'm about to buy my house, okay? So that's me, okay? So next thing, my 401k, hold on. My 401k was down the last 3 weeks and everything. It went back to normal. So I don't give a damn thing what people think about me. It's just like this country getting better. The gas price, is gonna go down and down and down. We're gonna pay probably less than $2 here in Houston.
Okay.
Texas.
Okay. Somebody said you're lying. Somebody said gas is $2.99. Somebody said you're lying. The gas isn't what you just quoted it to be. So Asler, listen.
Hold on.
No.
I got premium in my car, so I put.
Show us your 401k. Show us your 401k.
If you because it's premium.
Asler. You made a claim that a couple of weeks ago your 401k wasn't doing too good.
Great. Yes.
But you didn't come on the show and say that. Now you're here and you're saying, "Oh, it's good." How do I know it? Do you have a screenshot?
I can show you my 401k.
Show us.
Hell no. The thing is, like, I don't care if you believe me or not.
No, you can show us. It should have a graph on it or something, and you can actually do it within a week or maybe a month or a year. Just show us.
I'm not gonna show you my 401k.
So guess what, Asler?
I don't need you to believe me. You saying the gas price in Houston, Texas is $2.99. Whatever you say, this is your show. I just telling you what is my like about.
No. It's not It's not just my show, Asler.
I don't need you to believe me because Asler, your show. You Democrat had like some kind of sickness, like everything about Donald Trump. They bother you.
Asler, listen up, bro.
I got that part.
Asler, you're crashing out.
You gotta be honest, man. You gotta be honest.
You sent me a request to climb Mount Olympus today. And in order to climb, all you have to do is be honest. And you have not been honest about a single thing. The gas prices aren't what you're saying they are. And to be honest with you, he said gas. He said gas somewhere on the face of this country. He said, "Listen, no. He said gas was $1.97. Is there gas that's $1.97 where you are at?"
That's good.
Okay, so the answer is no.
Okay, if you want me to lie to you, no, it's not.
Okay, thank you. So that's the first answer, W, because you finally admitted it's not $1.97. Let's go to the next one. How much are the eggs? Because he said the eggs are 38 cents. They've been cut by 93, 94%, or maybe even 87%. So how much are your eggs?
Well, probably the pack is $6, 12.
Yeah. Okay. So they're not pennies.
No, sir.
Okay. So okay. And so your 401k, I promise you, if you showed me the annual video or photo of it, I promise you it was a lot higher than where it's at when President Biden was in office. When Biden was in office.
401k right now.
Huh? How long have you had the 401k?
For the last 20 years.
Okay, so yeah, it would be a lot higher than it was under Joe Biden. It's actually, it's a lot higher under Biden than where it's at right now. I promise you. If you could just,
my point, right?
Yeah, Biden did a better job for your 401k. So what I've done, Asler, and then I've already covered the issue with immigration. You weren't worried about being deported under Joe Biden, were you?
Why?
You weren't, were you? Were you? Let's just be
lost, man.
Keep it, Asler. Were you worried about Joe Biden deporting you?
No, but I was.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, W Zeus. So Asler, you're living in fear, and there's no relief, and you're trying to talk to me about you're buying a house. How much is the house going to cost? How much is the house you're looking for? How much is the house going to cost?
$250,000.
Oh, $250,000. And how much do you got down for the down payment? Because the dollar, the value of the
When the
dollar has
interest
gone
is
down.
like really low, it could be around $10,000 to $15,000 down payment.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to say this. Enjoy it while you can, brother, but you're not getting a good deal because, to be quite honest, you should have bought it under Joe Biden. All right, W. Zeus.
No.
Bye. But okay, Asler.
No.
Yeah, Asler. Here's the thing. Asler, here's the thing. You're getting ripped off.
You say we're supposed to be honest, right? And you are not right now.
Did the chairman lower the interest rates like Trump said he should, or no? No, he did not, because guess what? No one's listening to Trump. So it's another W for Zeus. Asler, you're not.
Only 100.
Let me ask this question.
Today, man, 112 days today of Donald Trump. What are you talking about?
Okay, well then. Okay, but let me ask this question, and I need you to be honest. Have you gotten your golden envelope yet from Doge? $5,000. Have you gotten it?
I don't need that money, man.
No,
I haven't had no money for nobody. I don't need money from the government. I need love to get my money. That's all I want.
So
I don't
Asler,
need free money, because that money they're gonna be tax me later on, and it's gonna be back for me. I just need the government to do the right job.
Okay.
That's where I can live.
Okay, well, do me a favor.
Right?
Are you talking about the Venezuelan government? Because obviously the Trump government isn't doing a thing for you. So you only got an option to go check in with Venezuela.
My country is fucked up. You know that.
Oh, keep it clean. There you go. See, Asler, you broke the rules of the show. You're cursing with my mom. Asler, this is so easy to do.
I know you don't like bad words, but my country is really in bad shape right now.
Okay, so I'll say this, Asler. Here's the thing. I've debunked you on everything. You have nothing good to brag to us about. Has anyone in the chat? Let me ask the audience. Hold on, I'm gonna
show, man.
Has anyone in the audience heard Asler bring up anything that shows he's doing well out of all the things we've covered? Yes or no? I just got to ask the audience because it's judgment time. I'm looking in the chat. We didn't get any good gas prices. Nothing with the eggs, the groceries. We didn't get that. He's about to buy a house and get ripped off. The interest rate is way too high. It should have came down. Asler, you have nothing. Your 401k, you can't even show us a photo of it, bro. Asler, I have no other choice, brother. But you tried to climb, and unfortunately,
hold on, before you drop me.
Yes, demon.
Hey, somebody wants you to ask me about the African ears.
The African ears?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I don't know what that is, but you know what?
Donald Trump bringing from Africa.
Oh, the South Africans. All right, we got it covered. Asler, ladies and gentlemen, that's Asler. Asler, do us a huge favor and go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Come on, Asler. Don't bring that up right now when you don't got anything. All I'm going to say about the South Africans is, once again, he's showing you where his priorities are. And it's obviously not Joe behind. W. Zeus. Yeah, they're white South Africans. Yeah, you don't fit the profile for that, all right? And you're not going to get any money. They will, but you won't get a crying dime. You better keep paying is what I'm saying, all right? All right, let's go to the next panelist. Good morning, Poetivity. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Wow, I'm kind of surprised to find myself up here.
Well, you never know how it goes, right? It just kind of goes this way, that way, and then you get what you get.
No, it goes. I was just in another live, Zeus, and I have a big question. Like, the trolls these days are saying the same thing. They're all saying, well, these other countries were making the United States a victim. They were charging us tariffs. Like, that's their big line,
Yeah.
Yeah. How does the richest country be a victim? That's what I want to know.
Well, Donald Trump is the ultimate victim, right? And every lie begins with, we were getting ripped off. I mean, and they just go around and they repeat it. It would have never happened if I was. And then he throws in the story, the story about the snake. They're stuck. I hate to say it, but these people are stuck. These people need a lot of help mentally.
They really do. I mean, it's so funny to me that they believe that he's a victim of anything, like the deep state, is going around and messing with his life, instead of he committed crimes, so he's being held accountable. And I mean, and the country's the same. Like our country's the same. We've gone around bullying the entire world into giving their precious resources and all that for cheaper to us, and our country has thrived. And yet somehow now we're a victim. I just don't understand this whole victim thing. Like people come here because they feel safe when their countries aren't safe, and they get jobs, and they work hard for us, and somehow we're a victim of them. Like we're not victims. We were a strong, beautiful country, and now we're embarrassing. Are you embarrassed?
Yeah, I'm very embarrassed. Actually, I on my X account, I had to apologize to the whole world. I said, I apologize on behalf of the United States for the person that's sitting in the White House. All right, we don't claim him. All right, W. Zeus.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing. It's like there's so many smart people in this country, and there's so many truly successful business people in this country, and there's so many people that have lived good quality, high moral lives. And we chose this guy? It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
Tell him. Well, what do you think it's going to take for us to shed this aura of embarrassment, so to speak, from ourselves as a country? What do you think it's going to take?
Zeus, I don't think we ever get back to being proud of our country, at least not in my lifetime.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 60, so when you're talking lifetimes, maybe I've got 20 years if I'm really lucky, and it's going to take longer than that to get any pride back. And even Germany, after it came out of its embarrassing leader, to this day, 100 years past that leader, when you think of Germany, you're like, despite having this terrible history with this terrible tyrant, they are now a pretty cool country. Like there's always the first part of that sentence, and there's always going to be the first part of that sentence for us too.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do is this then. I think we're going to end up having to have our own version of the Nuremberg trials, right? But we'll do it with MAGA, all right?
Because we have to do that. Like they have to be held accountable for what they're doing. Even all the little Proud Boy ICE people, like they're all going to have their accountability. They had it in the other country that we are now mimicking.
Yeah.
And they had to go around, people who acted like the Proud Boys are acting right now, had to go around and find other people who they had persecuted to stand up in their home against the police that went around, and they paid them great deals of money to say that they were not bad to them. And I mean, it was, and people who paid that, cover for themselves to not be held legally accountable, people who paid that cover, a lot of them ended up unaliving themselves because they were so humiliated by what they had done, and they couldn't live with themselves during that time. And the way that it's being set up now, with the CEOs of the private prison industry being the first ones to max out their Trump campaign donation, and now he's paying them back. They're setting up these big prisons.
Fraud.
As if we don't have the biggest prison population in the world in our country. Anyway, now he's building great big new holding facilities, and is he going to fill him up? He is. Well, he is. If we don't get him out of office right away, he will be filling him up.
Yeah, committing those. To me, I say it's equivalent almost to what some say war crimes. I hate living in this country and knowing that our current president could possibly be committing war crimes, right? Running around trying to deny people due process and just shipping them out of the country. And then, you're talking to his supporters. These are bad people. Shouldn't they be deported? And I'm going, well, deported is one thing, but sending them to camps is a completely different ball game, right?
Yeah. They're not even bad people, Zeus.
That part.
They're not even bad people.
Positivity. Let's go.
they're good neighbors, good family members, good, kind, service-oriented, hard-working as, people. And to lock them up is a crime against humanity. And to treat them this way and to hunt them in our streets is a crime against humanity. And we are allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
We're allowing it to happen. Like, we shouldn't.
Yeah. Well, MAGA is,
We shouldn't.
I try not to be as complicit in that. That's why I think what you and I are doing, we get on these apps and we spread the awareness factor out there and increase it all the way to the top levels, because it's actually, the judges are weighing in, and in some cases they're saying you can't do that. Right. And that's what we need more of. But yeah, on a personal level, this is immoral. I don't like seeing mothers torn away from their children. I don't like seeing children battling cancer, being tossed out of the country in the name of so-called securing our borders. These people aren't bad people. I thought he said he was only going to go after the bad ones.
Well, yeah, and I don't like fathers being torn away from their families either.
Thank you.
It's like nobody should have to go through that. Nobody should have to walk through the streets of the United States
Really?
looking over their shoulder all the time, being scared to death to go out during the daytime. Stop going to work because you're afraid you'll get snatched up at work, like without a trial, shipped off to El Salvador. Like, that's just not right at all.
And they go and sit in church right before they do it. Ain't that something?
Oh, and these are good people. These are people who, I can't even believe how hard some of them work. You're out and you're looking at a road crew, and these people all have these heavy shovels and they're sweating and they're doing all this hard work. And I'm like, I am so grateful for you. You just have to salute them almost as you go by, because you are benefiting from their hard labor every single day. And there's nobody to replace them. Like, there's no YT.
Well, I would love to see. I would like to see, and
who's gonna get out there.
I would love to see, and I'd hate to say this, and I might get into some trouble for saying it, but it's been sitting on my heart to say it. I wouldn't mind seeing Blaga get out there in those fields. I wouldn't, because there has to be some sort of punishment for what they've done. To me, it doesn't make sense. It's like they went to school, they learned about history, and they were supposed to say, okay, we should do all we can to prevent that from happening. But they actually turned around and said, you know what, bring it on. I want to go out back into those fields. And so I'm like this, the heart wants what the heart wants, right? W. Zeus, if you want it, if y'all want to get back out there and do that work, go for it. But, I won't be doing it as far as I'm concerned, and I won't feel bad for you if you are forced to do it, all right? Because somebody has to provide for us, that, are trying to go to the store and buy stuff, and then you got to be able to provide for your family. And so, yeah, maybe it is a good idea for Blaga to get back out there and let that whip crack their backs. All right, I know I'm going to hell for it, but somebody had to say it.
Well, who is going to fill those positions? I mean, I fear that they're going to take these people who are actively contributing, having happy lives, having parties with their friends and families, living in this country, speaking Spanish because that's their natural language.
Yeah.
And they're going to be taken to these for-profit prisons, and then these for-profit prisons are going to use their labor anyway in the same positions, but without paying them, without compensating them, without letting them have their freedom, without them being able to celebrate with their families.
Yeah.
And labeling them criminals when they're not criminals. They're just hardworking, good people who are trying to find a place on the earth to have a better life.
Amen. Thank you.
And
well, listen, I got to move it on, all right? But
yeah, it's all wrong, and thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. W Poetivity, no lies detected. We cooking and booking on a Tuesday morning. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, my goodness, check it out. Oh my gosh, look at the time. Oh my God, this time is flying. Do we have any Trump supporters out there that are brave enough to get in the box real quickly? And let's get into this. All right, I've already debunked every single lie that they got going. All right, and so I'm just double checking because I'd like to try to keep it fair. Yeah, okay, W. Zeus. They're not brave enough. Yeah, you're right. And I saw somebody in there. I think her name was Rebecca. Rebecca, you said we act like we care about Latino people. Nobody cares about Latino people more than we do. All right. But here's the thing, Rebecca. When you vote in your worst interest and you cheered on, you welcome chaos, you welcome destruction, you welcome separation of families. When you welcome that kind of stuff onto yourself and your community, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a very, very difficult time feeling sorry for you. All right. So, like I said at the top of the show,
if you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Thank you. And then so you guys don't ever want to come up. Blurrizon Creation, you says, okay, race bait. How am I a race baiter? You all love to play identity politics. How am I up here race baiting? I mean, if you're gonna say that you're getting triggered because I'm being descriptive, then you might want to sit your special behind down and continue to listen to this special broadcast, because I think you live in a world where you somehow came to a conclusion that just because a person is a Democrat that they can't speak on things that involve race. That's where you went wrong. Probably we're more qualified to actually speak on things that involve race, because where you're at, a lot of us have been there and done that and evolved. W Zeus. A lot of us, we understand what it is like to be misogynist or be a bigoted and racist, because, you know, before we did the work on ourselves, perhaps we were doing things like that. But at a certain point, you gotta grow up and realize that if you don't evolve as a human, right, you're still doing what you were doing in high school. Oh my gosh, why the heck would I even want to be around a person that can't think beyond the third grade? Oh my gosh, W Zeus. So, again, you got person in the White House who loves to bring race up all the time. That's how America got here. You know, my friend Attacking, he said something, and it's very, very powerful. A lot of us, like myself and all these people that get into the box, we wouldn't even be here if MAGA didn't do what they're doing right now, which is supporting Donald Trump. To be honest, MAGA, you are, in a way, you're responsible for the Democrats for being the way that we are now. Because you just refuse to tell the truth. You're going to sit there and watch this guy lie over 30,000 times in the first administration. You saw it. We saw it. You're going to sit there and watch him lure you to the United States Capitol on January 6th under the guise of a campaign that had already ended, Stop the Steal. And you're going to sit there and watch him go gin you all up to go do some very evil things, including unaliving the vice president. You're going to sit there and do all of that and then come talk to us, play around in our faces and say, who was responsible? Nancy Pelosi. What? You think we're going to sit back here and let you get away with making stuff up like that? If Nancy Pelosi was that powerful, doggone it, she should be the president. If Nancy Pelosi tricked Donald Trump and MAGA to show up to the Capitol on January 6th and break the law, she is one powerful person, and you all should be bowing down on your knees and kissing the ring, seriously. But you will not admit that. So because you won't admit that, MAGA, you're going to keep getting the energy you're getting from all of us, W Zeus. You're not going to get it. I'm not going to give you a pass. And that's why I say, why don't you just come on up here and admit it and tell us the truth? And we can move on as a nation, but you won't do it, all right? Yeah, MAGA is weak. This is what they say, MAGA is weak. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got? Oh my goodness, so many to choose from. Good morning, Nutty. W, Lady Boss Monet. Yes.
Good morning.
Yes. Am I being too harsh on these Trump supporters, Nutty? Because
Zeus, you know, your mutuals always tell you you're not harsh enough.
Okay, I can live with that. I thought I was.
I'm gonna let that be the answer right there.
Fair enough.
So, what I want to say, give me a second go with me here. There's a point that I'm trying to make.
I want every white person in this room who would be happy to be treated as this society in general treats our citizens, our black citizens. If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others.
So the reason I want to play that, I want to correlate. That was Professor Dr. Jane Elliott. We know she's a 91-year-old woman who came to fame by her brown eye, blue eye experiment back in the early 60s.
Yeah.
When she was a teacher. The reason why I played her is because you had Asler in the box earlier.
Okay. All right.
And you asked him a very specific question about Air Force One. And what did he tell you? He said, let me back up. You literally had just said before you brought him up that they're going to go around in these TikTok streets and they're going to claim that the plane is 40 years old. You just literally spoke about it.
I did.
What in the world did he do? He literally said the same thing you said he was going to do. The reason why I played Jane Elliott, the reason why I played her is that was specifically dealing with race.
Yeah.
Now, I want to take that same experiment and say, imagine if we were speaking of Barack Obama. Imagine if we were speaking of Stuttering Joe. Just imagine. Same scenarios, Zeus.
Yeah.
Same everything. Notice I didn't say everything. I said
everything. Yeah.
Same everything. But it's just someone else other than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Then would you say it's okay?
If they were honest, they would admit it wouldn't be okay.
So the reason I say any of this, Zeus, is going back to Qatar or Qatar. Some people pronounce it differently.
Yeah. I know.
You played a clip earlier in your monologue where Donald Trump was speaking how the country, the nation of Qatar, is a T group. They bring a lot of T groups, right?
Yeah.
And he disparaged the whole country. Now, the reason I bring it up is because Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani,
you did a good job.
Interesting names.
Yeah, you did a good job.
He was the sheikh back then. He rose to power in 2013. So that's even before Trump got on the scene.
Right.
He rose to power in 2013. So if they were this horrible nation back then when Donald Trump was speaking of this, and they have the same person in charge today, where's the correlation? Where did it change?
I can't see it. Oh, I know. The money. The money changed. Isn't it funny how money will change how you see somebody? 1 minute, I ate their guts, and then the next minute, hey, oh man, this is my best friend.
So why is it
that's weird?
That 2 weeks ago, it may have been even a week, but I'm saying 2 weeks ago, why was it that Eric Trump was over in Qatar?
Oh,
talking about lo and behold, Trump properties.
Oh my gosh, this smells like waste, fraud, and an abuse, with a little bit of a golf course involved.
So all of a sudden, Eric Trump. I'm sorry, I'm just putting dots together. I'm piecing things together. Eric Trump was over in Qatar, and now we have this announcement of this big, shiny, beautiful plane, this palace in the sky. Why do you think that is? Can we say quid pro quo from the most powerful seat in the world?
I'm asking to the Trump supporters. Does anyone want to help us connect these dots and perhaps provide an alternative explanation for perhaps what Nutty is kind of giving us to think about and ponder upon? Because I'm willing to have an open mind about something like this.
Now, Zeus, I'm going to be fair here.
Yeah,
I'm going to be fair. Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution, that is what's known as the Foreign Emoluments Clause. It addresses gifts from foreign governments. Now, here's the part where I said I'm going to be fair.
Okay.
I would accept that claim. But there has to be a certain thing that has to happen according to the Constitution. The only way it can be legal is that Congress must consent. Congress must say yes. The House and the Senate must vote on it and say yes. Congress has. If you notice a theme, a pattern here, Zeus.
Yeah.
Doge.
Oh.
Firing all these people. Notice he's usurping Congress.
Yeah.
Yet again, he's usurping Congress. Now, I'm not sitting here talking and saying that Congress is the victim, because Congress is allowing him to do this. But once again, he's usurping the power of Congress.
What a crying shame.
He is violating the separation of powers.
Yeah.
We have a separation of powers.
Guilty. Yeah.
So I'm not going to be mad at Donald Trump. I'm not going to be mad at him for this one. I'm taking all my vitriol and angst and anger to our elected officials.
Oh.
Why are you not holding this tyrant in check? Why are you not saying anything, saying absolutely hell no, you're not accepting this plane without our consent?
Yeah.
You just cannot accept a gift from a foreign government per the Constitution without the consent of Congress.
W, Nutty. Hey, Junior, relax. I see you, Junior. Relax, or it'll be your worst nightmare in this chat.
I'm
Nutty's
sorry,
talking.
You either believe in the Constitution or you don't. I'm sick of hearing people say constitutionally, Constitution this, Constitution that. No, you believe in it or you don't. It's just like those so-called Christians cherry picking the Bible. You can't cherry pick word that's written in black and white. If you want the Constitution to change, then it takes an act of what? Congress.
Not an executive order? Not
executive orders aren't law. Period.
Oh my gosh. Then that means there's something wrong with Congress. Then there's something wrong with the Constitution, because how can a president really defend this country when the courts are tying him up and everything?
Now, do executive orders have the weight of law? Some do, yes. But it's only while that administration is in office. Unless the next administration decides to continue it.
Fair enough.
It can have an effect of law, but it is not law.
DJ is in the audience asking a quick question, and we got to move it on, but maybe you can help him. This is what MAGA is saying. Has Donald Trump accepted the airplane?
They're trying to usurp Congress by saying that, they're not giving it to Donald Trump. They're giving it to the Defense Department. They're giving it to the Pentagon. Where in history has any foreign government ever given our Department of Defense any gift? Where? The richest, biggest army on the planet, face of this earth. Where is anyone giving this army a gift?
Yeah. Thank you.
Make sense, folks.
Yeah.
Stop trying to just defend what he's doing. It's indefendable.
Yeah. So, and DJ, let me just be very upfront with you. Obviously, he's accepted it because we're talking. My question to you is, did he reject it? And according to what he just said, he said you have to be a stupid person to reject it. And he clearly thinks he's a smart person, DJ. You know what, Nutty? We're going to send DJ straight to hell because DJ, honestly, bro, you just cooked
DJ
yourself.
Is full of hell.
DJ, you just cooked yourself. You You just cooked yourself, DJ.
See, DJ has the ability to get up in the box and have a conversation without crashing really quickly, but DJ is full of hell.
Sorry, chat, but I haven't talked to DJ all week. Sorry, chat, but this will be easy to do. DJ, you're disturbing the peace, and judgment is upon you.
Zeus. It's a simple question. Has he accepted it, yes or no?
Yes, he has, DJ.
Yes.
Where does it say that, Matty?
He said it in his speech yesterday.
DJ, when are you absolutely? Hey, DJ, I answered your question directly. I didn't pivot. I didn't go around the block 3 times before I answered it.
You are wrong.
Answered your question, and I said yes.
He has not accepted the plane.
Yes, he has.
That's misinformation. I'm sorry. He has not accepted the plane.
It is not. Hey, Zeus, cue the tape.
Did you not hear the press conference yesterday, DJ?
Cue the tape, Zeus, because he's not going to listen to us. He may listen to his own fearless leader.
In the orbit. You guys go crazy over things.
Wrong side of the United States of America.
DJ, listen.
It's like from a different planet. And it's close to 40 years old, might be more than 40 years old now. And we, when I first came in, I signed an order to get it built. I took it over from the Obama administration. They had originally agreed. I got the price down much lower. And then when the election didn't exactly work out the way that it should have, a lot of work was not done on the plane because a lot of people didn't know. They made change orders that were so stupid, so ridiculous.
Hey, Zeus, I'm
and
getting the phone call.
Ended up being a total mess.
Well, goodbye, Nutty, and I'll take care of this. DJ, this won't take long. Bottom line is this. He said that the plane is going to be accepted, and then it's going to go to his library. Do you recall hearing that, yes or no? Because I can't do your homework.
I'm not asking you to do my homework, Zeus.
Okay, so you know about him saying it's going to
been accepted or denied for the plane.
Huh?
There's been lots of talk about it. I mean,
what is he saying?
What is he saying? He said you'd be a fool not to take it.
Okay, so what does that mean in your world? Yeah.
He said, you know what? We give a lot to a lot of countries. What's wrong with a country giving us something for once?
Yeah. So he's taking it, right?
It's not formal, Zeus.
So you want to see the title in his hands officially?
I want to see the plane has been accepted.
Okay,
and it's not out there.
Okay,
I'm
okay. So
then, tell me where you can find it that he accepted the plane.
Okay, because now it's just about a formal process you want to see. He's accepted it on record with his words, with his actions. Right now, the paperwork, we'll never see it. We'll never see it. But from what we understand, this has been vetted by Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, they said they came up with a way for him to accept it. It has to go through the Department of Defense, and then it's going to go through his library. So what that tells me and anybody that's thinking DJ is that he's doing one heck of a job showing us he's going to take the plane. He's not showing us he doesn't want anything to do with the aircraft. So if I were to actually ask you to bet and roll your dice and say, do you think he most likely accepted this gift or not, what would you say?
I would say I think if there's a good chance that he will, if it makes sense.
Okay, so you're going to be on the other side where I am at, that he most likely accepted it, right? So why are we arguing?
You guys are acting like he's already accepted it and damning for this and that and the other.
Yeah, because guess what? I know, listen, a leopard never changes its spots. I know what he's going to do. He said you would have to be an unintelligent, uninformed person to not take it. And he brands himself as a genius. So that's code for saying, I'm taking it. Now, the next thing, DJ, is this. You're the same group of people that refuse to say Donald Trump is a convicted felon. And y'all took so many, he hasn't been sentenced and this and that. And then eventually it happened. You all act, and then even when it happened, you'll still make an excuse. So I'm knowing even if he accepts it, then you'll turn around and say, well, technically it's not really his. He said it's with the Pentagon, and we're going to go down this path. Bottom line is this, DJ, would you have a problem if Joe Biden did it? Yes or no? I'll know everything I need to know about you from this answer.
I probably would. Yeah.
Okay, then why are we even arguing?
No. I mean, no, I'm sorry. That
No. I got you, W. Zeus. I caught you.
The way that it has has to happen. But I don't like the fact that Trump is taking it, Zeus.
Oh,
what I hate here.
Now you're acknowledging he's taking it.
That's going on right now in this country, and you guys are picking this as a
You want to go back to Albrego Garcia? You want to go back to that? Because you guys got mad at us when we brought that up.
No issue with that.
Okay,
so you're making your stand on Garcia. That's where you're going to make.
No, I don't even want to get into that. My point is, every time we got you all dead to rights, your favorite excuse is to go, you're making a big deal out of this. You're darn right. 400 million smackaroos plus. That's a huge deal while he's out here asking everyday Americans to take pay cuts. That's a huge
400 million smackaroos for it, Zeus.
Yes, that's the whole issue.
You're saying the taxpayers are paying $400 million.
Absolutely, no doubt.
You have to look that up.
Okay, okay, well, we can go.
It was a gift.
Okay, DJ. Would you believe it if your significant other came home and said, some guy just gave me a $400 million jet as a gift? Would you believe that, DJ? And she said, oh, but there's nothing going on. It's just he likes me.
Okay, I'll give you that. No, that's a good argument. I got no problems with that.
Yeah, I knew you would. See, huh?
One thing you can be sure of, I'd take a damn ride on that plane if my wife came home with it.
Okay, so then now you're an opportunist, all right? I already caught you. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, W. Zeus, I just cooked DJ. Now he's okay with the plane as long as he can fly around in it and be, a beneficiary of it.
I love the way you twist that stuff.
No, it's just proof that you obviously know you're lying. Because when people start lying, you could just obviously know, like, okay, honestly.
You saying you're not lying about who's paying for the plane, Zeus?
I'm not, because guess what? It's going to the Department of Defense, and we had a very good discussion. The taxpayers' money goes to the Department of Defense, and then they're saying that perhaps it's going to have to get retrofitted and all this other stuff in order to
Let's
actually.
have a dollar bet on it. Let's have a dollar bet on it. Look it up. If you can show me where it is.
Well, first of all,
if you can show me where the U.S. taxpayers paying for that plane, I will never come into your live again.
Okay, well then this is easy. I'll just say this. Go back to your analogy when I asked you if your significant other came home with a $400 million jet and said it was a gift, and you acknowledged that nothing's free. Nothing's free, buddy. So with that being
U.S. taxpayers not paying for the plane itself from Qatar, the Boeing 747 is being offered as a donation from the Qatari government to the U.S. Department of Defense.
Okay, but that's what they're saying. But you and I agree, nothing comes free.
Dude, I'm asking.
Right, DJ? Do we agree? DJ, do we agree?
The taxpayers were paying.
Yeah,
for it.
you're darn right. And I didn't cover.
Where they're paying for it, Zeus.
And I just did. The plane's going to have to get retrofitted, right? Because it can't just be used instantly as an Air Force One aircraft. So it's going to have to be upgraded and all these other things.
Up, Bubba. You're backing up.
No, so it's not a free gift. Listen, DJ, if I give you,
it's not a free gift because it's got to be customized. Is that what you're saying?
You're darn right.
Would we have to customize any plane that we use for the president?
DJ, if you have to spend a penny, it's not free. All right. And we're saying to you, if I give you a car and it's, I say it's a free car, but then you have to dump $100,000 in it, then that means, guess what? You're spending at least $100,000. And where you getting the money from is a problem. We wouldn't have to spend this $100,000.
And they're not.
They are, DJ. And once again, you tried to climb Mount Olympus with a bunch of lies.
Now you're spinning and spinning.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask this: does anyone believe what DJ is saying? Yes or no? If the audience doesn't agree with you, DJ, it's judgment time. Does anyone believe what DJ is saying?
The audience is going to disagree with me. What a shock!
No. Let's just listen. I'm just listening.
It's plain as day, right here, black and white. There's 7 different articles I can give you. Do you want one of the 7 articles?
Do I want 7 articles of lies from you, DJ? Absolutely not. And the audience has already spoken.
So even when I got the proof to back it up, it's all a lie.
Show me the proof. Show me the proof. Show me the proof. Show me the proof. Show me the proof real quick.
Again, here. All right, let's do it. All right, from the Associated Press. Let's see, what else we got here. Do you want the date of the article?
What is it? What is the proof? Read the evidence. What are they saying?
Trump is ready to accept a gift from.
Wait. So it even says he's willing to accept it, which was an issue you were saying we didn't know was true. So once again, W Zeus. Man, DJ. Wow, DJ. This is so easy. It's like taking candy from a baby.
You and me both a favor, man.
What's that?
You got. I used to like your integrity. Nothing else you had integrity. But I'm afraid I'm a little bit disappointed, and those days are gone, man. So you or your room won't have to worry about me ever again, brother. Take care, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's our good friend DJ. Hey, DJ.
Silence, you MAGA Damon.
DJ, you got to give yourself some, you got to go listen to what you just said. You had the audacity to say you have problems with integrity after supporting Donald Trump. It's the biggest self-own. Once again, I keep telling every single one of you Trump supporters, every time you try to act like you have a problem with a Democrat on any level, right? Whether it's integrity, whether it's fraud, it's waste, it's abuse, it's corruption, it's being a criminal. You have this big old 2x4 in your forehead like this that we all can see. And you try to come and talk to us about having a splinter in our eyes when you got this big old DJ, wake up. Wake up. All right. You don't got to say, I'm not coming back to the show anymore like a little child. No. Keep coming and getting this kibble, because guess what, DJ? Believe it or not, I'm actually helping to save your soul. I'm saving your soul, DJ. Wake up. You need to say, instead of saying, I'm not coming back to the show, you need to say, I'm not going to be in this cult anymore. How about that, DJ? Because listen, and this is what it is. DJ, you come in, you grab a seat every morning. I don't ask you to send me a crying dime. All I ask is for you to be a free thinker. And yeah, you don't got to take my word on everything that I say. The goal is supposed to be inspire you to go out and do your own independent research and then come back an honest broker of the truth. That's why I talk. That's why all these other panelists get up here and talk. All right. So we can have a very clear minded understanding. And yeah, we might not get it right all the time, but our hearts are truly in the right place. Now you're going to sit up in here, come in here and try to be a victim. Absolutely not. It won't work. W Zeus. Do your own research. You just can't take everything a content creator says and say that's gold. No, go ahead, do your research. But you didn't give us any evidence. You just actually proved that Donald Trump accepted that airplane with the Associated Press article that you gave us. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Look at the time, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the time. I got to get up out of here. Oh my gosh. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get up out of here. All right. But what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen. I'll do it like this. These are folks that I normally try to get in and hear from, and I'll let them all say something, and then we'll wrap up this wonderful and amazing show. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you all doing?
Morning, Zeus.
Good morning.
All right. We've had a lot. Who wants to go first? And, just take turns. We got about 15 more minutes.
I just wanted to show DJ this headline and read to him that the taxpayers will pay millions to upgrade the plane, because that's what it'll take to make sure it's secure. Not only for a president to fly around in, but you have to make sure that it's not bugged. Like, you've got to do a security sweep. You've got to upgrade the armor on it. You've got to upgrade to make sure it's got all the kind of... you ever seen Air Force One?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember how they had all the kind of ways of evading missiles?
The flares and all that stuff.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to have that. So it's going to definitely cost us millions.
Thank you, Dubs. W-Dubs, ladies and gentlemen. DJ, you just got debunked.
Well, and the superstructure is different on Air Force One, too. The superstructure on Air Force One is much heavier duty and much heavier built because of all the extra things that it carries.
Yeah. Wow. So what we're all coming to the conclusion about is that it's ultimately going to cost taxpayers money.
Well, yeah, and it also costs jobs. Okay, there was already a contract due to build a new Air Force One. So that Air Force One would have been another plane that comes out of Boeing, which is an American company, which have created jobs that hire people to help build this plane. Okay, so that's another issue. I mean, you've got all kinds of issues with this. And if he wasn't going to accept the plane, DJ, why is it in San Antonio?
Yeah, it's already here. It's already here.
Attacking RC. Well, I need everyone on the panel to be quiet and represent Zeus. Look up in the sky.
Oh my gosh, cut it out.
It's a squirrel. It's a
That's
chihuahua.
disgusting word. I know what that is.
It's El Mapache Dos Suprador Asler.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, W, Dr. Leg. Well, I'm gonna ask you all.
Fly around. You make things very good.
Well,
Very good, my friend. Very, very good.
Let me ask you all a question. You all love your country, and I'm assuming you're following the events that are going on. What do you think made Donald Trump want to accept this gift? Does anyone know what? Because you know what he was calling them the T word in 2017, but now it's okay to take the gift. What do you think it is?
Well, it's the same thing with the $2 billion from Saudi Arabia that Jared got. And then Mnuchin got $1 billion, and now he's in Saudi Arabia right now. So it's all about the money.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia gave him $4 billion to host the Live Golf Tournament at his resorts. Get the contract to play.
So you're not buying that this is in the best interest of the American people in terms of our national security and investments?
If you also remember, Donald Trump did not hold the prince accountable for the hacking of the reporter and spreading of his body parts.
Oh,
well, there's word that Jared had a part of that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's word. Yep.
He just had the liver.
Yeah.
Wow, cut it out. Wow. So you're not buying this. Does it seem like this is America first to you? Because I see people like Trash Bait thinking this is America first, and Donald Trump is showing the world we're strong by going over there.
I like to ask Trump voters, when can you give me an example of him putting the country ahead of his own interest?
Hey, RC, real quick. Was that plane built in Qatar?
No,
it was probably built here. It's a 747.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say if it was built in Qatar, let him have it.
That's a 740. Have you seen that size of that fucker? Oops, sorry.
Oh, looks like Jesus wants to debate me. I'll be free this afternoon.
I mean, what size is what? I thought Air Force One was a 747.
It is.
Okay, so the one that's in San Antonio, that's like a 777. That's a monster.
Yeah, no, it's a 747.
How come it's so much bigger?
The 747 comes in different sizes, sir.
I think one is a 787. I think one is a 787, and then the other one's a 747. If I can.
This one's got 3 stories.
Yeah.
I know, but the thing is that's a direct violation of the emoluments, isn't it?
Yeah, but they don't care about the emoluments. Come on, they didn't do it the first time.
Yeah, they don't have any answers, and we're trying to get them to at least acknowledge that what Donald Trump is doing is not putting America first, and it's actually, in a way, costing Americans their jobs, right? Because if you just accept that gift, that means no one's working on the new plane that he supposedly commissioned.
Well, Zeus.
Oh, it's a 747? Okay.
I'm sorry, but Donald Trump said in the White House in the Oval Office, when a reporter said that the docks in Long Beach and all these, they're empty, and he goes, that's good, that saves us money, so what? And he goes, well, the truckers are out of jobs. Yeah, but that'll save us money. It's a good thing. He doesn't care about jobs.
Yeah.
Truckers out there who love Trump, he says he doesn't care that you lose your job.
Wow. And so what we got going on then obviously is what you're saying is right, and I actually agree attacking. He doesn't care about the jobs. His supporters, they're going to suffer while he's flying around in this golden airplane. And do you think that in their minds they think in a way Trump needs to fly like this in order to do his job? Maybe that's the angle, right? They need to suffer so their daddy can, thrive.
Zeus, all things aside with the plane, him allowing those Afrikaners over here, and they are the absolute worst of the worst as far as people being racist, it's crazy to me. It's just But what's going to happen is they're going to come to America, and they're going to get some of this good old American, Great American Melting Pot.
Really?
Yeah,
Where are they going to be at? Do we know where they're going? I think are they going to that town Elon built in Texas?
No, they're going to places with high ethnicity. They're going to run into people, and they're not. See, the Americans aren't South Africans. You're not going to be able to push them out of the way or call them names, or do those things that they do over there to those people.
Yeah.
Didn't the leader of Africa make a comment that these aren't refugees? They don't qualify under the category?
I don't know. I mean, the whole point behind the plane, though, is really not the plane. That's the distraction, right? The point is the golf course.
Oh,
that's, you know what I'm saying, and that's what it is, because they can't give him a golf course, right? Everybody will go absolutely nuts if they give him a golf course. So the plane's a distraction as they're trying to work out this deal on the golf course. Okay, that's, this, he continues to scam and use the office of the President of the United States to enrich himself. That's the issue. And that's what, you know what I'm saying, and that's what we need to be looking at. And like somebody wrote down, the golf course is $5.5 billion.
That's a lot of money.
Okay, they can't give him a $5.5 billion gift.
And
and that's, you know what I'm saying, and that's what that's the issue.
Is the plane a gift to him that he gets to keep post presidency?
Well, that got caught because originally that's how the story was posted, and then Qatar came back out and goes, no, it'll go to the DOD. Now, now how's this actually going to go down in the end? That's going to be my question, because I can tell you right now, when the Department of Defense goes through this plane, this cannot possibly be an Air Force One. It's not structured. It doesn't have the right superstructure. It doesn't have everything it needs to. It wasn't built from the ground up to be that plane. And when that comes out, what are they going to do with the plane? And then how's the plane going to end up in Trump's hands in the end?
Well, you know what? When he's not the president anymore, we don't foot the bill if he flies it. It's private. It's his plane.
Yeah, it's not about flipping the bill. It's about the plane itself. I mean, it's still a $400 million plane.
Yeah, but at least the taxpayers, if he was to keep it, at least we're not footing the bill for every time he uses a sucker. So,
well, his supporters don't mind paying for it. I mean, they'll do anything for him.
Yeah,
right?
but we wouldn't pay for it at that time if he's not president. It's his own Trump forceful goal.
Yeah, and
I think it's going to be a literal flying Russian radio transmitter.
Yeah,
there's no telling what this thing's going to be, right? I mean, this is ridiculous in all forms. I mean, we don't. Why would we accept a plane from a government that we sell planes to that wasn't built for the purpose?
From what I'm looking at, the new Air Force One replacement program involved 2 new Boeing 747-8s. And they were expected to cost $5 billion. Wow. So a $400 million plane ain't going to cut it.
Wow. It's just evidence that, once again, the American people are getting screwed over because of Donald Trump, and yet his supporters, they're head over heels. They love this. What a nasty situation to put us in, MAGA. And this is why I say you created us. You created this, MAGA, this situation with the Democrats. You got to take full responsibility. A lot of us wouldn't have to do this if you would simply be honest. All right. Well, listen, panelists, I got to get up out of here, but it was awesome having you all up. Anything exciting? Are you all doing anything exciting today? Is there any debates going on that we need to tune in? Dubs?
I'm going to be dunking on Jesus around 2 p.m.
Oh, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Trash Bait. So I expect to see you show up to RC Dubs live at 2 p.m. and that's West Coast time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, and I'll be seeing that and watching to see if he's actually worthy. But I know you're going to totally destroy him. Oh, you're going to do a pop-up live, Ari? All right.
Yeah, this is my birthday week, so I'm just doing whatever.
Oh, okay. It's your birthday week. When is your birthday?
Yeah.
When's your birthday, Lex?
Saturday.
All right. Well, maybe
But
Friday.
I don't know if I'll be. We'll see.
Well, Friday, we could try to
We
squeeze
do
you in.
lots of things on Fridays, Lex.
Yeah.
Say what?
He said we can do a lot of things on Friday if you know what I mean. But we'll get into that. Hopefully, we can at least we might be able to celebrate it on Friday if you got time. All right.
I'll come through. I'll call you and let you know what
All right.
going on.
All right. Well, panelists, thank you once again for coming up. I appreciate you, but I got to get up out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. See ya. Thank you. See you later. All right. Do we have the Russian Bears available to sing Happy Birthday? Because I did, ladies and gentlemen, said if they come up here and their camera is on, I'll do it. All right. Going once. See you later, Ari. Because we got to see who these people are behind the camera. Someone said bring up Ange. Ange, you wouldn't mind being able to come up here, Ange. Are you there, Ange? If so, send us send me a guest request. And I'll do it to. How about this? We could sing your birthday, Ange, instead of hers. How about that? That would be awesome if she has time. I don't see her in the guest request, but if she was, we would totally do it. All right. Look at this. Ange is so humble. Oh my goodness. I'm looking for her. I don't see her. I don't see Ange. All right. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? On that note, we are out of here. You all have a great and wonderful rest of your morning. Oh, there she is. There she is. Ange, I sent you a guest request if you don't mind coming up here. I caught you. Okay, yeah. There we go. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, look who we have. Yeah, Connor. Hello, Ange. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. Life has been lifing, so
I get it. But the kingdom is always trying to do their best to cheer you up. We missed your birthday on Friday. I know that there's a lot going on, and I just appreciate all you've done. But if you don't mind, would you mind allowing us to sing Happy Birthday to you today?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Oh! Now, you're going to be filling the gap for somebody else that I was hoping we could get up here if you don't mind. But, the Russian Bears. But who cares? Right? Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's go ahead and sing Happy Birthday to the beautiful Ange.
Happy birthday.
Let's go.
I heard it was somebody's birthday. Yeah. PJ Panda birthday song.
We finally got her.
Yeah, today is your birthday. We gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday. I'm so proud. Today is your birthday. We gon' turn out.
Turn up.
Cut the king and we gon' say happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Make it rain.
Candles like a kiss. Everybody bring a kiss. Got a new outfit and it's lit. Best day of the year you can't miss. All my friends coming in.
Thank you, Ange, for all you do on TikTok. Seriously.
I'm jumping around, yeah, up and down. Hey, happy birthday.
Look at all this love. We caught her, ladies and gentlemen. We got her. Hey!
Today is your birthday, we gon' turn out.
Turn up! Let's go! Somebody said thank you, Ange. Thank you. Well, Don said it. Thank you for all you do. Let's go! Hey, somebody said she's gorgeous. Keep it clean. Woo! Trash bait. Go into your bank account, trash bait, and go ahead and... Yeah, he's here. He's watching. Trash bait. You gave him the...
Today is your birthday, we gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday, I know you're so proud.
Hey!
Today is your birthday, we gon' turn out.
Got her.
Cut the king and we gon' say happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Wow.
Happy birthday to you.
Let's go.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday. Look at people love you, Ange. I mean, I'm almost getting a little insecure, but you know what? It's fine. Cotter. Wow. Well, listen, they're still cheering for you. Thank you for coming up here and celebrating your birthday, all right? We really do appreciate it, all right? Did you do anything that you want to be able to share with us, perhaps, and tell us?
I actually had like the first Mother's Day that you like, you always hear about, like, I'm talking about my Mother's Day now because it was the same weekend, but everybody just waited on me. It was nice. Our pool water came yesterday.
Wow.
It'll be a while, but it'll be some time before, but I'm going to go plant some more flowers today.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Did you? Oh, look at that. Even Snuggie showed up to say happy birthday to you.
Oh, I need a galaxy from him.
Snuggie, why don't you go ahead and do the right thing, bro?
He like stitches and duets me and does mean things. So
yeah. Him and Trash Bait, they really should just empty out all they have right now because you've done an outstanding job. Fair enough. All right. Well, I'm glad that we were able to sneak this in here, and you did it under duress because I practically I twisted your arm to get you to come up here.
A lot going on. So, but thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Fair enough. Any last words you would like to say to all of your beautiful fans out here, your friends and fans out here?
I just love you all. I've been here 3.5 years, and it's been wonderful to be here, and I've learned from so many of you. So
awesome! Wow, you are very diplomatic. Oh my gosh, very good at this. Probably better than me. Well, thank you so much. All right, and again, happy birthday, and wishing you and your family all the best. All right. I will. Oh my gosh, Rick just blessed you. OKW, Rick. Yeah, go ahead.
We have some very generous people, and I see you. I appreciate you.
All right. I'll take care of the dropping. All right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's our good friend Ange, and it was her birthday, and we just celebrated it. All right. Now, I honestly got to get up out of here. It was a pleasure talking to you all, but it is time for us to get back to doing what we all came to do, what we love to do, which is telling the truth and shaming the devil. All right. And in the meantime and in between time, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe, all right? Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
Kamala Harris's war, Pennsylvania energy, because she's going to ban fracking.
Love you, Rick.
100%. She's against fracking.
You're welcome, everyone. Thank you all.
All of a sudden, about 1.5 years ago, when she was getting killed in the polls, she said, I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical left Marxist. She can't help it.
Are y'all ready to do the drill, baby, drill? And we will
frack, and drill, baby, drill.
We're gonna be drilling so deep.
We're gonna be drilling so deep.
That part.
We're gonna be for these guys. We're gonna drill. We're gonna take out so much money. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes.
Here it goes.
Insane asylums. They go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack. Just drill. There's a frack. There's a baby, there's a lots of baby. She's gonna bang.
She's gonna bang it.
Up in there, she was against fracking against all the stuff, and then all of a sudden,
hey.
When she was getting killed in the pack, she said, I like fracking very much.
Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical. Love you, heaven. And we will and drill, baby, drill. We're gonna be drilling. Hey, let's go. Right, Craig, my brother. We're gonna lower your taxes. The insane asylums. They go crazy when I say drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack. W-A. You want cheap eggs? You get cheap eggs. Let's go. Mary Bell. All right. We're gonna drill, baby, drill.
Insane asylum.
That part.
You know, they go crazy when I say.
What are they?
The late great Hannibal Lecter. They say, why would you mention Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, why would you mention Hannibal Lecter?
We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylum.
That part. Yeah.
You know, they go crazy when I say the late great
Hannibal. Why would you do it, JTA? Why would you mention Hannibal Lecter? Come on. Want me to lower your bills? Drill. You're so grateful. Let's go. We're grateful. Got a lot of neighbor things. Let's go. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. How much do you owe on your house, baby? Okay, don't worry, we're gonna pay off all your debt. Oh, and you owe some property taxes. Don't worry, we'll take good care of that. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower your taxes. Because all we gotta do is drill, baby, drill like you wouldn't believe. I reckon there's so much liquid gold underneath our feet, and all we gotta do is frack, frack, frack to get to it. You all are amazing out there. Keep up the great work. I've just lowered your taxes. You don't even see it, but I did it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Stay safe out there in those TikTok streets.